All right, there he is, the captain, Dylan Hubbard. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? Happy to be here.
I appreciate you, man. I call you the, it's funny, we've never when we spoke a couple times, but we've never actually met in person, but someone referred to me once, you're kind of the Batman of Madeira Beach. When shit starts getting wild, they put up like the H for Hubbard, and then like you fly in and you start getting things figured out. That's kind of accurate.
I've never heard that before, but I appreciate it, and I'm humbled and honored to take that.
All right, yeah, I think that's good. I think being compared to Batman's good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you reached out, man. You really, your nose is on the ground. You've been a real advocate for Madeira, the residents, the community, the environment. I mean, a lot of important aspects, obviously. But let's talk about the commission, and let's talk about $18 million. That's part of your money, your neighbor's money, business people's money. And what are you getting for $18 million on this vote, man?
Yeah, man, I was pretty taken aback to hear about this, especially so seemingly surprised by it. I mean, it kind of came out of left field when I heard about it, and I was a little worked up. And then finding out more information, doing my due diligence and diving into it a little bit and getting an opportunity to talk to the city's mayor, finding out more information, and I started to relax a little bit. But I don't think anybody knows that this happened. I think this is kind of breaking news that the city commission voted 5-0 unanimously to spend $18 million to purchase this property. And it's not that they're exploring the purchase. They're not talking about it more. This was a final vote to purchase. They're entering contracts to spend $18 million right now as a small city, but it's a small city with a lot of visitors, and it's an interesting piece of property that I think has a lot of potential as well.
Okay, but it's 18 million. I mean, what's the ROI? What do they want to use the property for? I mean, and you didn't really know that this was something being considered. Many of the residents didn't really know. And we're not talking about $180,000. We're talking about 18 million. What are they going to do with that? What are you getting for that?
Well, exactly. And that's what really floored me about the whole situation. I'm like, $18 million? What? And then I go back and watch the commission meeting, because these are all publicly noticed meetings. They're recorded. It's right on YouTube. So first thing I did was dial up City of Madeira Beach on YouTube and watch the video. And it started right about 41 minutes in, and they talked for 18 minutes. And spent $18 million. And a lot of the conversation was like, we don't know what we're going to do with the property, but we're going to make money with it. So I was a little bit floored by that, of like, hey, we're going to spend this money and decide what to do with it later. Was a little bit, I think, as a private businessman, seems a little odd, but I can see, again, having been worked up and talking to you and getting fired up, and then getting a chance to talk to Mayor Brooks and dive into it with her. I think there's some really good opportunities to make money, and there are some revenue generating opportunities on this property. I mean, it's almost it's 4.6 acres, almost 5 acres, and it's completely waterfront. It's on a corner. It's the Holton property, for those viewers who are wondering. If you're going over Tom Stewart Causeway headed west, it's the very first property on the north side. It's that north corner right there.
What about a bar where local residents would get free beer and the tourists would pay like $25 a beer?
I'm down with that. And the beautiful thing is, I think your ideas are going to be heard, because one of the things I told Mayor Brooks when I was worked up about this and called her, I was like, hey, there's a PR problem here, because the reason I was pretty worked up with Robin Gomez, the city manager, the previous city manager, is it felt like a lot of things he did behind closed doors, and we just kind of were told, deal with it. And it was kind of frustrating to not have input, to not feel involved if you wanted to be. And that's how I felt about this. I was like, wait, you guys spent $18 million and we didn't talk about like anything? Came out of left field. But she had a good point. Is they've actually been in talks on this for about 6-8 months, many months. And the part of the problem is that Robin Gomez was supposed to be working on this, was supposed to be workshopping this, was supposed to be leading the discussions and the negotiations. And unfortunately, balls were dropped. And so kind of timelines were met and a vote had to happen. But what she brought up is, now that the the purchase is happening. Closing is October 22nd. So that was another surprise, is we're spending $18 million and we got 3 weeks to do due diligence and close. But between now and then, they have a lot of time to figure out the financing. So what she said is, hey, we could do short-term rentals, we could do marinas, we could do high and dries, we could do bars, we could do restaurants, we could do hotels, condos. But also we have 3-4 months to workshop it and ask the public and ask business owners and ask residents and visitors, what do you want to see here? And I think there's going to be a lot of public input opportunities moving forward. So I can float your idea.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, why not? And I think, part of it too, and I mean, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you reached out. I mean, you do still have people living in a trailer that they're paying for and they can't get in their house and they're waiting for work to get done. So I think anytime, you see something like this done, not only is it a ton of money, I mean, that's a big piece of cash. The rushed closing is also kind of like, well, geez, you can get anything done whenever you want. You snap your fingers, you float 18 million and we're done. We're over a year now of people who are just trying to get home. So
yeah,
I see the swing of that.
I just got a stop work order yesterday myself. One of our last locations, still recovering from the storm. They were putting in the floor and we got a red notice right on the door, stop work this morning. So
damn,
that's super awesome.
Damn. Yeah. I guess at some point, right, you just sort of get used to the sucker punches because it's like, here we are. So real quick before we let you go, first off, let me ask you, like, the one thing I see on a lot of these pages when, we're creating content, talking about stories and stuff, is everybody's asking you to run for something, like to become an elected official, which I got to tell you, I think it's one of the worst jobs in America. I give credit to people who do it or try to do it. Would you ever consider that?
I wouldn't say no. I would say it's on the radar as something. I mean, for me personally, when it comes to fisheries side of things, I think it's part of like my duty or responsibility to give back, right? Because my family has been blessed to create our history and our legacy based on a natural resource that we don't own and we don't have a right to. We just get the blessing to take part in it. So I think it's kind of my duty or responsibility to give back to that resource and help be a part of science and management. And unfortunately, science and management and fisheries gets really political. So you almost have to become a political animal. So over the last 10, 12 years of my involvement with that, it has definitely taught me to become a little bit more political. And it's, I guess you could say, a good thing and a bad thing. I'm blessed to be nominated and I sit on our Tourist Development Council for Pinellas County. So I kind of already hold a political position in that regard. And I've definitely thought about county commission, city commission, but right now I'm not a city resident of Madeira Beach. I live in Seminole, nice and high, 63 feet above sea level. Unfortunately, all my businesses are below sea level, though, so I feel a lot of pain of Madeira Beach residents in that regard.
All right, well, before we both promote yourself, because I just said what a great job you do promoting yourself. So where can people find it? I know you've got a streaming show. I know you've got a radio show. And by the way, I would tell other businesses, the way you're doing it's right. You have your craft with your businesses, kind of your born and bred, the stuff that you came up doing, but then you take it to the next level and you have a media channel, and every business should do this in some way or another. But where can people find you in the media world?
Yeah, we actually have a media company. So we started our own media company in-house, but we do a Sunday night live stream show where we give away $1,500 in free trips every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. on our Hubbard's Marina YouTube and Facebook page. We have a Saturday morning radio show where we stream live to our Hubbard's Marina Facebook and YouTube from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturday morning. We do a news show every Friday morning live at 8:15 a.m. on Fox Channel 13 News. And then we also do an in-person event every fourth Tuesday of every month at 7:30 p.m. at OCC Roadhouse. So lots of different ways to connect and come out and dolphin tour with us, or hit an island trip, a shelling trip, a sunset cruise. We do a lot of different things, private charters, deep sea fishing, of course. So whatever you want to do on the water. We have a seafood market. We have a lot of stuff going on inside John's Pass, fuel dock, bait shop. We do a little bit of everything, and we'd love to have you come out and see us. But don't forget now, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy.
Great, man. You've got that down pat. I think, though, with that, you might be too busy to be the governor of Florida. You've got a lot going on. I don't know.
Yeah. We're blessed to be working with PSTA and expanding upon our waterborne transportation offices. And
saw that.
We're building our own boats now, and we actually have some other exciting news in the works as well. So we'll have more announcements coming soon.